Price $12.99. Bedland, Iowa Golf, Driving Force, Car Sound, Tires Plus, 75 Store, Veterans Auditorium. The Super Sale, Friday through Monday.
From WHO TV 13 Des Moines, this is a 24-hour news update.
Good evening, I'm John Bachman. 71 degrees now. An autopsy tomorrow should reveal the identity of a body found in southwestern Missouri. It's that of a young woman. Illinois police have been brought in because of the disappearance of Tammy Zawicki, a Grinnell College student, missing for 10 days now, last seen in Illinois, traveling back to the college. Our next news in 1 hour. This is your 24-hour news source.
This is an NBC News Special Report. Here is Stone Phillips in New York.
Good evening. President Bush is about to address the nation on Hurricane Andrew and the ongoing relief efforts. The president toured the storm-damaged areas today for the second time in a week. Mr. Bush told reporters, quote, "I just want to make sure nothing falls through the cracks." The administration has been criticized in some quarters for being slow to react to the storm. Now here's the president from the Oval Office.
Good evening, everyone. 8 days ago, the people of South Florida and Louisiana were confronted by perhaps the most destructive natural disaster in our history. Tonight, I want to report to the nation on the aftermath of Hurricane Andrew and the effort required to help Andrew's survivors back on their feet. In the past week, I've twice visited Louisiana and Florida. And in Florida, where the storm was strongest, up to 250,000 people have lost their homes. Many huddle beneath the busted timbers of what was once a living room or a kitchen. There's no running water, no electricity. Little children are left without even a toy to play with. In the aftermath of Hurricane Andrew, a relief effort has risen, unprecedented in size and impact. And tonight, as we speak, almost 20,000 troops are on the ground, assisting in everything from providing meals to erecting tent cities. Basic human needs, food, water, shelter, and medical assistance are being provided. In Florida, a curfew is in place and the National Guard and local police patrol the streets. It's a tribute to these officers and to the people of this region that looting has been kept to a minimum. Social Security checks are being delivered on time. Financial help is being made available to families who've lost their homes and their jobs. This relief effort has generated incredible cooperation. My thanks go to so many people who slept so little the past 8 days, to state and local government officials, federal agencies, private charities, and the heroic men and women of the United States military. Most especially, my appreciation goes out to the volunteers. When we arrived in Florida, some of the first people we met were from South Carolina, victims of Hurricane Hugo, who had spent the night driving so they could help others through their ordeal. We met doctors and firefighters spending sleepless vacations lending a helping hand. Through the eloquence of their action, I've been reminded that America will always be a nation of neighbors. Although the relief effort is well underway, urgent needs still exist. And so tonight I make a special appeal to the generous spirit of the American people. People in Florida and Louisiana want to stay in their homes. They're in desperate need of rolls of plastic to cover open roofs, lumber to board up walls, and cots to sleep on. They also need diapers and baby formula and other infant supplies. And fresh volunteers are needed to staff medical facilities or help with the cleanup. Right now, America's churches and charities are mobilizing to meet these needs. And I encourage all Americans to pitch in any way you can. If you don't know where to turn and you want to help right now, please call the American Red Cross at 1-800-842-2200. 1-800-842-2200. Once our relief effort is complete, we will accelerate the process of recovery. Already today, we announced plans to rebuild Homestead Air Force Base, the linchpin of the economy in devastated areas. And a distinguished Florida business leader, Alva Chapman, has agreed to head a national private sector effort to help rebuild South Florida. It's called We Will Rebuild. This effort has my strong support and the support of Florida Governor Childs. All of us are in this for the long haul. If you want to be a part of this effort, please write "We Will Rebuild." And the address is Post Office Box 010790, Miami, Florida, and the zip code is 33131. In the past 8 days, we've seen on our TV screens real tears, real sorrow, real hurt. Livelihoods have been destroyed. Lives, even young lives, have been tragically lost. But already in Florida and Louisiana, we're talking not just of relief, but of recovery. This is a tribute to what is inside us. And yes, Andrew blew a whirlwind of devastation, but he could never extinguish the American spirit, a spirit of compassion and sacrifice and endurance. We have seen that spirit in action the past 8 days, and with this spirit and your enduring commitment, our neighbors in South Florida and Louisiana will recover. Thank you for your generosity, and our prayers are with all who stood in Andrew's path. Good night.
The president addressing the nation live tonight from the Oval Office, voicing once again his commitment to what he described as an unprecedented relief effort, and making a special appeal, he said, to the American people to keep pitching in, sending everything from lumber to diapers and other baby supplies. Standing by now is NBC's chief White House correspondent, John Cochran. John, your reaction to the president's remarks?
I thought he made a concerted effort to avoid making this speech look like a partisan pitch for his re-election campaign. He didn't offer any excuses for the federal government's slow response last week. He didn't brag about what he's doing now, but he did outline what the federal government is doing, and he was trying to get across the message that, look, I'm not here in the Oval Office just sitting on my hands.
John, does the White House now feel that it is beginning to put the criticism behind it that the president was slow to react to this storm?
They would like to think that, but they don't know whether he's going to wind up being the hero or the goat, or more probably something in between. This story has legs. They feel it's a much bigger story than they ever anticipated a week ago. They don't know what the outcome will be. He'll do what he has to do to look good on this story and also to help people down there.
John, the White House has insisted that the remarks tonight were not political, but clearly the president stood to gain political yardage with his hurricane-related agenda, and it is hard to overestimate the importance of Florida in his re-election bid.
Oh, sure it is. His campaign manager admits it's hard to put together a believable victory scenario for George Bush without Florida and its 25 electoral votes. The idea being if he can get Florida, that will partially offset the expected loss of California with its 54 electoral votes. Florida is crucial to George Bush.
John Cochran reporting tonight from the White House. Thank you, John. Well, later tonight on Dateline NBC, Jane Pauley and I will take you back to Florida for a look at the federal response to Hurricane Andrew. I'm Stone Phillips in New York.
This has been an NBC News Special Report. We now join the program already in progress.
I'm following a possible drunken driver. I'm on the northbound toll road, guys all over the road. It's a small pickup.
Just because someone calls in and says that someone is doing something, we will not take action on that alone.
Here's a cop right here.
We must see some type of violation in order to make a traffic stop and then to check the person out further.
All right, they got probable cause on it right now. When I saw the trooper put the drunken driver through the field sobriety test, it reinforced in my mind that this driver was intoxicated. Had a lot of difficulty in walking in a straight line. He also had difficulty in standing on one leg for short periods of time.
This is a perfect example of the good work that Dr. Greenwald does of making an apprehension on a drunken driver that normally we wouldn't be able to make because we weren't anywhere near the location when the call came in.
I have a lot of mixed feelings when I see somebody arrested and placed in handcuffs. I wish they had not driven drunk, of course, but at the same time, it is very satisfying to me to know that a very dangerous person was removed from the public highways at that point.
I don't think of my husband as a vigilante in any way, although that term is used often by the press. I don't think it's any different than a person who sees a house being robbed. You wouldn't see a house being robbed and just drive by and not call the police.
If more people had videos on the street, I'm sure it would make our job a little bit easier, because any extra evidence that you have on any case is always a benefit.
Thanks for coming so fast.
No problem. I was only about 2 miles behind you.
Yeah.
Do me a favor.
There will be a time when citizens who are just driving in everyday business will have video cameras on their cars as an extra added safety device. We have a drunk driver northbound.
In the 10 years since Dr. Greenwald began his video campaign against drunk drivers, he's assisted police in more than 500 arrests. Some critics, however, say that this video vigilante should leave law enforcement solely in the hands of the law. When we come back, the powerful video that moved a city to effectively ban rodeos. Stay with us.
Kmart's got a great price on this bag of Butterfingers, Nestle's Crunch, and Baby Ruth's.
Perfect for our family. How did they know?
I guess they know what the average family likes.
We're average.
Don't take it so hard.
Cool, 30% off on Maybelline Cosmetics.
Oh, I gotta have this color.
Me too. And this.
Me too.
And this. No, I'll take this color, so we won't look exactly like.
I tell you, with prices like this, I could buy out the store.
It's like you're off to a good start.
My daughter said she's too busy to use Old English oil, so
she got me Old English spray. It conditions in practically no time to help prevent drying and cracking.
You're never too busy to give your wood the royal treatment with Old English.
Help me put this away.
Real country biscuits.
And country crock.
Real country taste.
This is helping.
You said put the country crock away.
Come spread real country taste with fewer calories and no cholesterol. Shed Spread Country Crock. It is the taste of the country.
Dateline.
I'm going to heaven, and I'm going to find them the greatest family before I go.
A dying mother's last wish on an unforgettable Dateline NBC.
Wednesday, this man's mother took a secret to her grave.
I am looking for a twin brother.
Help him search for his lost twin. An all-new unsolved mystery. Then, where's Kramer's arm been?
Smell my arm.
You gotta smell it.
It's invigorating. So shock therapy.
To believe it.
Stop smelling your arm.
Seinfeld, after Unsolved Mysteries, NBC Wednesday.
If we hadn't been there with the camera and the videotape, it would have never happened, you see, because they would have just denied it.
Animal rights people, I think, basically